Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, All People's Island. Start fishing for a god-level mermaid. Chapter 81. Just entered the next true god. Do you think you are invincible? Seeing a female demon flying towards him unsuspectingly, Tuyun sneered in his heart. Most creatures who have just entered the true god level have this problem. Arrogant, self-satisfied, dragon breath. A powerful divine power erupted from his hands. After the divine power condensed for a short time, it turned into a 1-meter wide fire dragon head. The flames ejected from the dragon head instantly covered the entire area in front of it, including the nameless devil. Remember the lesson of this death after reincarnation, not all lower Shendu are of the same level. Tuyun was about to turn his attention to other people. Sudden, a playful mocking sound came from the flames. This one, Albetha lightly held the tip of her nose, and flew out of the flames unscathed. Immediately afterwards, she took out a mythical giant axe bestowed by Linyi in midair. Bunches of red lights counterattacked and shot out from all around. Shish, how is this possible? Tuyun's pupils shrank slightly. Although the dragon's breath technique just now was not his strongest skill, it was also one of the few offensive true magic skills among the 8 spells. Didn't do any damage at all. You actually have such a powerful counterattack effect. You seem to have a lot of secrets. Use the fire element to transform into a shield, blocking the counterattack red lights one by one. Seeing that the shield faction's energy was exhausted, Tuyun said calmly, I'm very interested now. Finished. He continued to stretch out his hands, ready to use stronger skills to annihilate the enemy in one fell swoop. Well, in the name of the Lord, judge you. Suddenly, the soft light bursting from the sky attracted Tuyun's attention. The creatures he killed and the islands he destroyed when he was fighting for the island owner flashed through his mind one after another. A deep sense of shame slowly occupied the whole heart. No, purification of flame spirit. Tuyun's flaming flame nucleus twitched violently. There was a look of horror on the face of the man with condensed elements. So close. He was confused by the enemy's skills. If you really get hit by that trick, you will lose your skin even if you don't die. You lowly bugs, do you think that if you master the divine power, you can surpass the higher level true gods? Tuyun was angry. The huge fire element power begins to explode. Behind him condensed into 10 flaming birds that consume 30% of their divine power. The waves caused by the hot temperature of the flying bird are clearly visible, rushing towards the 2 women in the sky. Just relying on the amazing divine power from the birds, it is enough for any lower-level true god to avoid its edge. However, Sauronfia and Albetha confronted each other indifferently. Bang rumble. After touching the target, the bird's body produced a chain reaction and expanded rapidly. In the fierce roar, all exploded. The test is almost done. Don't run away. Albetha flew out again unscathed. The other side, Sauronfia was even more weird. Those flame energy touched her body. It was like being swallowed by her. As soon as it exploded, it sank into the surface of her body. See this scene. Only then did Tuyun realize that the mysterious true god whose attributes were twice as low as his was terrifyingly powerful. It is impossible to defeat the opponent by yourself. You have to fight with other companions to have a chance. Want to run back? Linyi, who was ready to go, saw Tuyun's small movements. He just raised his finger slightly, and cast a purple-blue thunder in an instant, destroying lightning strike, simultaneously. Nake beside him also floated the water dragon that had not yet dissipated from the sea, and spit out water bombs that covered the sky and the sun towards Tuyun. Mythical skills. How can the power have such power? Tuyun lowered his head and saw the 10 piercing wounds on his body. He was finally scared. He grabbed all kinds of life-saving things from the void and threw them towards the humanoid creatures in front of him. But, no matter what the degree of attack, facing the black and white winged woman at the front, it was useless. Even if there is an attack bypassing them, will also be attracted to the demon woman by a mysterious force. Sharp arrow afterimage, holy white light, purple lightning. This was the last picture Tuyun saw before his consciousness dissipated. Your hero, Sauronfia, killed the next mid-level true god, and the experience energy increased by 10. Close black lens bracket. Your hero, Albetha, participated in the kill, and the experience energy has been slightly increased by 2. Open black lens bracket. You participated in the kill, close black lens bracket. As the island prompt sounded, Tu-yun, whose body's fire element completely collapsed, died completely. Lin Yi opened the information panels of several people. It is found that the attribute value of Sauron Fia, the killer, has changed from 1 to 1.5, and the remaining people have also increased by 0.1. It's an intelligent race. How did you run to the Blue Star Sea? He was a little curious. After knowing the exact strength of the enemy. Just now everyone really wanted to kill, the flame creature had died countless times. I just want to see more information about the other party. Currently, according to the enemy's soliloquies, Lin Yi guessed that he might have come from a sea area with a higher personality. And through some kind of props, it hides its own intrusion warning. Is it a shadow invasion? Lin Yi thought to himself. After all, there seems to be no value worth exploring in the recent news of the Blue Star Sea territory. Go back, and be careful during the next period of time. I found the heart of the ocean. In that sea. A Batman took out a probing tool in his hand and passed the message to other people involved in the operation. Tu-yun, the target is near you, don't go far. After a while, he found that apart from the answers given by the others, the middle-ranking guy from the Yan clan hadn't replied yet, so he couldn't help saying again, Tu-yun, don't go too far. Received a letter. Quote, waited for a long time. Still nothing. Not good. Tu-yun's flame core has collapsed. Another low god of the Yan clan lost his voice through props. Core crash. Died. Batman frowned. How is this possible? The island owners of both sides attach great importance to this matter. A total of 10 lower true gods were dispatched to participate in the operation. It is already half of the background of the island owner. Not to mention Tu-yun is the strongest, at least he has the strength of the mid-term. With a good talent and skills, there should be no opponents in this barbaric sea area. How to die? All right. The enchantment of this large area has just been loosened, and it is very likely that it was done by the island owner who was promoted to the next true god. Another companion guest. Report this time to your island owner first, and the others gather at the heart of the ocean. Batman put away his props, and his sloppy mood finally got a little more serious. But, even if Tu-yun died, the effect would be limited to this. The elementals are all brainless idiots. To die here is to make people laugh out loud. With the strength of his next peak true god. As long as it wasn't for the middle god to make a move, it would be in a new sea area that had just broken the barrier. It's like a tiger entering the sheepfold. No one is his match. Master, most of the high-ranking island owners in the Demon Kang Sea region have been dealt with, only White Eagle has disappeared. Several undead island owners started their reports in the past few days. Excitement hung on their pale faces. Almost all the high-ranking island masters of the Dry Nether Sea took part in the invasion of Mo Kanghai. Losing the top powerhouse to sit in town, plus having the existence of a true god like the Master of the Undead. No matter which island master finds a high-level enemy, the master can come to the island by being invited. You can enslave the Lone Star, mythical eagle clan at the flick of your finger. Under the siege of endless undead creatures, the Demon Kang Sea territory has only resisted for less than 3 days. It fell completely and turned into a paradise for the undead. Quote. It's just an hors d'oeuvres. The undead ruler's skull joints creaked. The sound made by using the soul power is transmitted to the mind of each island owner. Leave 5 great witches to search for the balance of the sea area, and the other natural disaster army will leap towards the southeast. Come to the Blue Star Sea area. Finished. His eye sockets were throbbing with fire. He took out a spear artifact from the storage ring. The Naga tribe is pretty smart, with this weapon. Enslaving that white-winged creature is a sure thing. At the same time, Lin Yi was lying on the sofa in the hall of the villa. When he reached level 50, the island function opened a return teleport button for him in advance. Only press lightly. You can return to the entrance of the Blue Star Passage from the island world. I'm going away for a while, and it won't be too long. I have enabled the island cruise function for you. Pay attention to guarding against true god level enemies. Heard he was leaving. A money mist suddenly rose in Na Kei's eyes. He clearly knew that the parting would not last long, not even more than 2 hours. But there was still an inexplicable emotion in her heart. Reluctant. Master, Come back quickly. Albertha is good at seizing all kinds of small opportunities. The graceful body full of charm fell into Lin Yi's arms very naturally, and that beautiful face directly leaned against it. In full view. My mouth is watering. No matter how Lin Yi pushed and shoved, she remained motionless, relying on her strong physique. I will miss you. Albertha finally let go of Lin Yi after her addiction. The golden eyes are full of endless charm. It made the latter not want to leave. Take care of your home. Lin Yi still knew how to relax, touched her slightly red lips, and returned to the auction drunk. A blue light rose at his feet. The current state is normal. Turn on the return transmission. Close black lens bracket. There was a straight buzz. All the girls didn't catch the teleportation screen. Lin Yi disappeared in an instant. At the same time, the entrance to the Blue Star Passage, which was originally crowded with people. At this time, it has been evacuated by the parliament into a huge uninhabited square. There were only 100 important members of the council, standing respectfully at the entrance of the passage. Until the handsome young man in ordinary beach clothes walked out slowly. Everyone saluted in unison. Welcome Mr. Lin, return to Blue Star. Mu Baikuan stood at the forefront. He also bent his straight waist like everyone else. No one forced him. He respected Lin Yi from the bottom of his heart. And grateful for what the latter has done for Blue Star. Even if these things are just a matter of chance. His heartfelt intentions have not changed in the slightest. Why is there such a big battle? Lin Yi had a helpless expression. With his current strength, he can destroy Blue Star without any effort. I don't worry about what happens to me after my return. But never think about it. These heavyweight figures who were only seen on TV in the past have come to welcome me. And, on the outermost side of the passage square, it was surrounded by so many Blue Star humans that only their heads could be seen. In order to see Lin Yi's true face, they can be said to do everything possible to think of a variety of ways. There are aircraft rides. Some use skills to climb onto buildings. There are also miniature dolls used to shoot close to the cordon. The 8 immortals crossing the sea each show their magical powers. Yishin, Yishin, I love you. Ah, I saw the real Yishin. Maid is so excited. Mr. Lin Yi, can you take a look at me? Lin Yi big brother, I want to give you a monkey. No complicated ones. Can you? Wow, I'm going to die. I actually saw Yishin smiling at me. Ha ha ha, with Mr. Lin Yi, I don't worry about the shadow invasion. Boss Newbie, oh shit, don't King step on my face. Brother, hold back and don't be impulsive. If you enter the cordon, you will be sent to prison. Mr. Lin, Mu Baikuan stepped forward on behalf of everyone, and explained, with your achievements, let alone such a scene, it is not an exaggeration to send all the members of the council to greet you. I was just worried about causing you trouble, so we sent us, the heads of various national factories and rich families. Not to mention the welcome lineup. Even the title of Lin Yi, the Blue Star Council has made many decisions. Naturally, their identities cannot be like netizens, big bosses, Yishin or something. It's too childish. But Lin Yi is very young, Lin Daoju is too raw. So, everyone thought of Mr. Lin's honorific title. Okay. Lin Yi nodded and went straight to the topic. I still have things to do. Hurry up and use the balance to establish a connection with the Lukawi orcs. For every half-minute delay in Blue Star, there is a possibility of missing a true god-level fishing spot. This kind of loss is not generally large. Okay. Mu Baikuan took out a table from the space ring, and then took out a balance that was exactly the same as that of the Lukaway Sea area. It should be completed by putting together the parts of Lukaway's balance. Lin Yi nodded slightly again. Put another scale on the table. 2 balances with different attributes touched together, and it is clear that there is a progress bar reading on the top. It took less than half an hour to complete the docking. Also, this is a ranking reward for his ministers. Mu Baikuan directly took out 20 space rings with the highest specifications on the market. Arrange them one by one on the table. So much. Lin Yi's eyelids twitched. Good guy, he thought it would be nice to have 20 million. Although these rings are far less than the space he has for fishing in the sea. But one can also hold more than 2 million island coins. 50 million. Mu Baikuan pushed the ring over, and said in a deep voice, there are 2 million and the 9 of us have already divided them, but you have the most credit for the points battle. Please accept these. No one is fool. Lin Yi also knows BHBI any plan for ranking rewards is nonsense. To put it bluntly, it is the parliament's financial support for itself. The reason for the reward is also to prevent myself from being indebted to the parliament. It is good. Lin Yi used divine power to put all the rings into the package, and said in a serious tone, I am from Langsing Yan country, you can rest assured. Hear this sentence. Mu Baiquan let out a heavy breath. What they did was not in vain. The two chatted and waited for the balance to be docked. Half an hour later, there was a sound from the balance. Lin Yi took out a storage device containing 200 fruits of life and put it on the table. I'm afraid you will pay a lot of money to raise these funds. You can see the arrangements for these fruits of life. After speaking, he turned around and walked towards the entrance of the passage. Before leaving, he warned, the enemies of the Sea of God's domain are very powerful, and we cannot relax due to the current situation. Sea of God's domain. Mu Baiquan watched Lin Yi leave at the entrance of the passage with serious eyes. What kind of an enemy can make Lin Yi say such things? Then, when he looked at the things in the storage space, his pupils shrank suddenly. Lost his voice. There is such a spirit fruit. It's too scary. Sea Island reminder. Luca Wying has completed the connection with Blue Star. Exchanges and social forums have started sharing. A pleasant reminder sounded in the ears of all the island owners of the two planets. All the island owners were stunned. Two planets establish a link with each other. After opening forums and exchanges, they immediately discovered that there was a brand new section on the forum. Impressively, all the communication posts in the history of the other party's race, as well as the chat content of the real-time channel. Just click on it, and you can see the general environment of the other party's planet. And the other party's characteristic ethnic culture. What makes the island owners most excited is the various extra items in the exchange. Whether it's skill books, elixirs or blueprints. Either never heard of before, or very rare. Some materials may be useless garbage for the orcs, but they are rare treasures for the Blue Star people. And vice versa. For a while, all island owners fell into a shopping frenzy. Enjoy the bonus brought by island docking. With these resources, before the shadows invade in the future, the overall strength of the two races can be raised to another level. Inside the Seven Moon Garden Villa, Sauron Fia knelt on the ground on one knee before everyone could react, piously, Sheng. Master, during the 30 and 60 seconds of parting with you, do you know how much Yar misses you? Albetha also wanted to take advantage of the opportunity. But Lin Yi stretched out his right hand and pressed his fair face firmly. Is there any movement? Lin Yi asked casually. No expectations were reported. Who knows? Na Ke immediately jumped up and said, yes. Just now we discovered a sneaky undead island, which has been wiped out by me. Dead island. Hearing this, Lin Yi was slightly taken aback. Is it the owner of the island? Immediately afterwards, an island reminder that belonged to him sounded. To detect the unpredictable island owner of the dry underworld invading the barrier in the northwest of Blue Star, whether to enable defensive teleportation. Open black lens bracket. It will be turned on automatically after 10 seconds, close black lens bracket. 10. Opening square bracket. Closing square bracket. The Blight Sea territory has really invaded. The shadow creatures haven't been killed yet, so why are you so anxious to fight your own people? Lin Yi's eyes turned cold. Immediately shut down the defensive teleportation function. This function can divide the enemy when the number of enemies is scarce. The role of encircling and suppressing the enemy at home. But once a sufficient scale is reached, split them into random places in the Blue Star Sea territory. That would be troublesome. Especially true god level undead. Facing this kind of enemy, other island owners may not even be able to use the option of returning to the island. As the last island owner who integrated the sacred balance, he has the right to switch the original Lukaway enchantment. Immediately afterwards, a scarlet notification resounded throughout the Blue Star Sea territory. Friendly reminder. The unpredictable island owner of the Dry Nether Sea territory has invaded the Blue Star Sea territory. Now he has passed through the defensive barrier. Level range 40 to 100, excellent, true god. Friendly reminder. The unpredictable island owner of the Dry Nether Sea territory has invaded the Blue Star Sea territory. Now he has passed through the defensive barrier. Level range 40 to 100, Excellent, true God. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. In the forum, all the island owners exploded in the real-time channels and posts. Isn't the Dead Sea territory undead? How did they pass through the Demon Blue Sea territory and enter the Blue Star Sea territory? Undead tribe. There was a video on the internet before, and an island of aboriginal undead was discovered. The dense undead creatures are too scary. If they are sent to a random place in the Blue Star Sea, it will be over. They didn't teleport randomly. It should be operated by a boss. Yi Shen Niu Bai. That's right, it must be the boss Lin Yi. Yi Shen Niu. Excuse me, Blue Star Warriors, who is Yishen? The one who helped you integrate into the Blue Star family. The one who defeated the Lukaway pirates and the Eagles invasion. It turned out to be the respected strong man. Is Yisheniubi his honorary name, Yisheniubi? But, the opponent's highest level is a true god. I've never heard of that level. Same as the highest level of Shadow Invasion, does Yishen have the ability to deal with this level? I'm still a little worried. Just when everyone was unsure, a nickname from a member of the Blue Star Council suddenly appeared on various forums and real-time channels. Amao. Don't worry, everyone. Lin Yi and Mr. Lin will take care of the highest level enemies after passing the barrier. The rest will be sent to the Blue Star Sea as normal, and we can just treat it as a regular sea battle. Now there are Lukaway orc warriors join us to fight against the enemy, but they are just a bunch of rotten corpses. Ula. The official news has been sent. It's stable. Hiss, does this prove that Yishen's current strength is fully capable of defeating true god-level enemies? As expected of my husband. That's amazing. At the same time, the magic elves who turned on the time flow control. The experiment reports were continuously taken out of the acceleration area and handed over to the small coal balls. The latter holds the latest experiment report, holding a metal test tube and frowning tightly. After a full hour, after the little coal ball compared the last data, excitement burst out in his eyes. Ha ha ha, right, all right. She picked up the special metal test tube in her hand and laughed loudly. This will be an epic-making product. The first edition of God's Blood. Got to tell the boss about this. Open black lens bracket. Do you want to activate the defensive enchantment? Close black lens bracket. Yes. Lin Yi saw that the upper limit of the true god level and myth level had disappeared from the continuous island reminder, so he immediately opened the defensive barrier. The undead who pass through the Blue Star barrier will be thrown into the vast sea area. Get ready for battle. Turn on the jump mode. Pass the order to the various clans. Thousands of strong breathing fighters from the two clans formed a square formation. Small briquettes don't know the time flow velocity array, in order not to waste efficiency. According to the needs of Anli and Togle, half of the island is covered. In addition to Lin Yi's frequent activities on the coast, and Wei Wei's medicinal grass planting on the western islands. Everything else is covered. After a day, under the action of the Real Illusion practice field, a large number of soldiers took the fruit of life again. Cooperate with a lot of actual combat experience brought by life and death fighting in the illusion. These warriors will let the undead know that even ordinary soldiers can easily fall in love with them. The island dives into the bottom of the water. Only a section of the treetop of the world tree remained above the water, protected by the jump shield. In the sub-light speed sailing mode, the speed limit can be reached on the first level 1-star island. It can sail more than 200,000 kilometers per second. Although the area of the island has decreased exponentially, Lin Yi is still sailing at an extremely fast speed. Some orcs have already discovered the undead tribe that appeared on the border. According to the coordinates, there should be no true god level there, and it is not impossible for me to meet in the direction I am heading now. Lin Yi took out the map of the sea area that he had looted from the pirates. Follow the map to show. The junction of the Mo Kang Sea and the Lukaway Sea is relatively narrow. The north is the Demon Blue Sea, and the south is the Blue Star Sea. As for the Dry Nether Sea, it is very likely to be in the surrounding area behind Mo Kang. Boss. Island owner boss. Good news. Suddenly. The small briquettes are like monkeys. Jump on the wild trees of Mithril Isle. Soon came to the control room to find Lin Yi. What good news? Lin Yi asked curiously. Look, this is the result of new research and development. The little coal ball wiped his delicate nose and handed over the metal test tube in his hand. Talent Awakening Potion First Edition. Type: consumable props. Outstanding quality. Effect: sea-level talent can be awakened after use. Remarks: according to a trace of the blood gene sequence combination, it is made of 812 kinds of material extraction essence, without any side effects, and can be used repeatedly at intervals of 1 week. Hiss. Lin Yi stared at the little girl in front of him with wide eyes. The heart has already been shocked beyond compare. Is this energy productive? The little briquette laughed and said, "Boss, if this kind of thing cannot be mass-produced, it is a failure. The 812 kinds of materials are all low-level items that can be seen everywhere, and the total value does not exceed 5 silver coins. After the formula is available, the production line can be mass-produced." Quote. She took out a recipe drawing from her pocket, as well as the production line's construction requirements and standards. Handed it to Lin Yi again. This is only the first version completed, and we will continue to study better quality ones in the future. I believe it won't take long to achieve results. Talent Awakening Potion. This is the first time that Lin Yi has seen something that can acquire talent other than the talent stone. Quality doesn't matter. You know, all island owners have the highest probability of awakening. Percent, level, talent. With just 5 silver steel shops, you can get a sea-level talent. Still mass production. Unsatisfied with talent awakening, you can use it again until you are satisfied. This is simply an epic-making product. The profits it brings are unimaginable. Good, very good. Lin Yi's mouth was full of praise, and he praised, "I didn't expect to get this kind of harvest so soon after giving you 10 million gold coins. I'm looking forward to your follow-up performance. Come on, little briquettes." Unexpectedly, the other party's next sentence almost made him spit out a mouthful of old blood. "Boss, there is no money," the little briquette said with a smile. "What the hell, other people are burning money. You are simply throwing away the interspatial ring." Lin Yi took a deep breath, and once again gave the small briquettes 10 million research and development funds. The latter was so excited when he got the money, he flattered and left the control room. This blueprint, selling tens of millions of patent fees, is not too much. Seeing that it will take some time to reach the border, Lin Yi opened a social channel. How did these undead enter this sea area? Batman looked down, frowning tightly. The endless army of undead, what ordinary people see directly collapses. A bone dragon with a length of 100 meters flies over the island. The yo-yo soul fire scanned all the alien islands. When the enemy is found, it opens its hollow mouth and breathes out the blue flame dragon's breath. There are also powerful sea beasts in the water. These are terrifying existences enslaved by necromancers. On the back of the sea beast, undead creatures of unknown races were waiting in formation. Worst of all, on those constantly galloping islands, the necromancers are still summoning the natural disaster army they cultivated from the cemetery space. Every necromancer is a huge army. Even at the same level, undead creatures are weak and vulnerable. However, it is suppressed by absolute numbers. The undead tribes scattered throughout the island world can occupy a place in every corner. There is a lower true god who has just been promoted. Another slightly obese Batman next to him squinted his eyes and said, "Master Karas, I'm just short of a ray of divine energy to break through to the lower stage." The Batman named Locke's just now scolded, "The mission of the island owner is more important. Without the heart of the ocean, you just wait to be polluted." It seems to recall those pictures deep in my mind. The fat bat hurriedly whispered, "I'm sorry, I was too eager." At this time, a flame creature pointed to the front and wondered, "There is an island that has jumped, why are there 6 lower true gods on it?" 6 lower true gods. Locke moved his gaze to the finger of the flame creature. Soon, he discovered the island with a towering giant tree. "It's kind of weird. Leave him alone and focus on the task." Locke was about to leave with the 2 companions beside him. Suddenly, his pupils shrank suddenly, and he stared at the unusually lush giant tree. Golden silk pattern, fruit of life. World tree. At least a world tree with a lifespan of 100,000 years. Locke felt ecstasy in his heart. He hadn't had this emotion for a long time. The world tree of this year far surpasses the heart of the ocean in terms of suppression effect. If this tree is brought back, the reward given by the island owner will be beyond imagination. You can even spend a lot of money and pour a lot of resources to help yourself be promoted to the middle god. Send the message to the island owner first. Inform others to come quickly. Tumo, come with me to take down the lower creatures on that island. Master, there is an abnormal island ahead. The undead banshee, who detected the intelligence, floated into the lifeless palace from the outside, waiting for the next step from the skeleton island master above. A tree. The undead lord was a little puzzled, but he didn't last long and ordered, go forward normally, and send a big lord to deal with it. Obey. The necromancer leaves the palace. Pass his orders to the front. Soon, an undead island owner volunteered to invite his natural disaster troops to attack the island. My lord, those despicable evil undead have launched an attack. Sauron Fia's eyes shone with gold. She was brooding about what happened in the points battle last time. Unexpectedly, they met each other again in this sea area, eagerly wanting to restore his fiery glory. Good luck. Lin Yi is in a good mood. I thought it would take a few more days to use the jump mode to shuttle across the edge of the barrier. Who would have thought that they would run into a large army of undead tribes? Notify all islanders, prepare to fight. Sauron Fia, you alone deal with the opponent's next true god island master and several other mythical island masters. Free action after resolution. Lin Yi immediately assigned everyone tasks, turned to look at Yar Besha and said, Yar is responsible for dealing with enemies below the mythical level. Anli led the Terra clan to eliminate the enslaved sea beasts in the water, and your clan, Togle, was in charge of street fighting. Nake and I will support you at any time on the battlefield. Wei Wei and Little Briquette guard the island. Have you heard clearly? After listening to the battle instructions, the island executives in front said in unison, clear. Immediately afterwards, the 4 battle-class true gods flew forward quickly. At the same time, the undead lord who rushed to the forefront has entered the attack range of everyone. Big wave impact. Sanction of the holy light. Thundercloud. 3 range attacks from the true god instantly enveloped the sky above the island, which was only 4 steps in size because of the jump speed. Rumble. Rumbling. Countless undead creatures that have not yet issued a hoarse roar to the target. Just one face-to-face, and he was killed cleanly. Facing this circumstances, those undead islands that were moving forward in the distance all pulled up the handbrake and took an emergency brake. 4. True gods. The undead master saw 3 women and 1 man in midair. The stiff skull made a click-click friction sound, and turned its gaze to the horrified undead son next to him. Didn't it mean that there is only one true god enemy? Or do you want to die again? Facing the questioning from his father, the son of the undead panicked and said, Father, I don't know either. Despicable heresy. Face the judgment. After Sauron Fia lightly chopped up an epic bone dragon, he cast his angry eyes on the island dominated by the undead. Next to that island, they are all undead who escaped during the points battle. Now, see where they go. Nako, activate the deep sea storm, and summon water dragons to attack other high-level islands. Lin Yi seemed to think of something and said, you don't need to cause too much damage, just let them fall into a fighting state. In case the true god of undead is killed later, other high-level undead island masters will be randomly teleported in the Blue Star Sea area. That would be too much trouble. Good big brother. Nake nodded obediently, immediately summoned nearly 1,000 super dragons, each up to 500 meters long. The wings condensed by the water elements flickered lightly, and spread out in all directions at an extremely fast speed. And, take the center of the battlefield as coordinates. A whirling wave that is not strong but covers an extremely wide area has already formed. The swirling wave has no lethality, but it is even a weak impact. It also made the island owners who were attached to the undead master enter a fighting state at the same time. Simultaneously, Sauron Fia also came to the island dominated by the undead with anger. Underestimate me. 437, then after I enslave you, I will have the strength to rival them. The undead master held the lower real artifact spear next to his seat on his knuckles. After getting up, the palace of bones that seemed to walk out without any haste. Before coming to the open space, confront Sauron Fia in the sky. He didn't summon the vast number of undead creatures in the graveyard space. After being promoted to a true god, he knew the existence of those who were as strong as mythical and demigods. It can't do any harm to the true god at all. Not even the strength to stop it. Letting them out is just a waste of your own resources. With my bonus after being promoted to a true god, and this inferior true artifact. I still don't believe it, even you are not convinced. Sol Huo, the ruler of the undead, was eager to try, preparing for Sauron Fia to attack. Boom! A huge divine force slammed into his breastbone. Then, the body of the undead ruler flew out uncontrollably. Directly crushed 1/3 of the palace of white bone. A large piece of the sternum, which was as hard as meteorite, had already been broken. There are still traces of hot flames remaining on it. Hiss! It seems to be able to burn the soul. The undead master felt a sharp pain and was very uncomfortable. Heresy. Hit with a sword. Sauron Fia pointed at the undead master on the ground with a long sword in his hand, and was about to cast the light of judgment to deal with this undead whose attributes were far lower than his own. Suddenly, her golden eyes suddenly looked up to the sky. The 3 alien true gods whose divine energy was stronger than hers quickly swept towards the island. Their goal is the world. Sauron Fia immediately understood the intentions of these 3 strange gods, and her pale gold pupils shrank slightly. If the other party shoots at her, with the powerful bonus of talent attribute, she won't even frown. But, everyone on the island now understands the value of World Tree to Lin Yi. If once destroyed or plundered, the consequences are simply unimaginable. Burnt. You are courting death. A spear touched Sauron Fia's back, sparks came out. How? How is it possible? The undead ruler's pupil soul fire was almost extinguished in fright. He is bound to win, and hit with all his strength. Not only did it not injure the opponent after hitting the target, but even the powerful shock force almost made the spear drop out of hand. What kind of defense is this? I, in the name of the Lord, judge you. Sorin Fia pointed a finger. After the soft white light leapt out, she flew towards the island without looking back. Only the master of the undead was left dumbfounded, kneeling on the ground and constantly repenting. Waiting for the white light to wipe him out. The 99% damage reduction brought by the pure white flame, plus the continuous recovery of health. Sauron Fia's defensive power is not inferior to Albeth's. For a lower rank true god, it is wishful thinking to injure her. The only effect produced, it's just that a hole was pierced through the silver armor she condensed with divine power. Harness divine power. The hole was quickly refilled. What's the situation? The son of the undead, who had been hiding in the corner, sat down on the ground. He watched helplessly as his father, who was extremely powerful and aloof in the past, knelt on the ground. Shaking like a child, the soul is still babbling about its guilt. And under the action of those white lights, it was completely crushed into the most primitive source of energy. The Overlord has fallen. Retreat. Other island owners discovered the situation here through various means. One layer of goosebumps was horrified. This level of existence is beyond our ability to deal with. Beyond the true God. A powerful existence beyond the master. Not good. We are all in a battle state and can't use random scrolls anymore. What should I do? It seems that there are orcs coming up ahead. There are also mermaids. My sea beast troops have been wiped out by them. Damn it, what's going on with those orcs? Why can they kill the legendary monsters so easily? Every orc is equipped with powerful equipment and various props. What kind of troops are they? Look at the information, aren't they ordinary orcs? In the wailing of the undead island master, the armies of the Terra clan and the Nuya clan entered the core areas of the major island owners. Relying on Lin Yi's huge background supply, every ordinary orc is like a mythical hero, killing like no man's land. Any undead creatures are vulnerable to them. Plus air water dragon support. Even escaping by boat has become a luxury for them. Your hero, Sauron Fia, killed the true god, the lower initial undead island master, and gained a boost in divine energy. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The level of your hero Sauron Fia has been raised, and the current level is true god, mid-lower level, close black lens bracket. The island reminder sounded next to my ear. But there was no smile on Lin Yi's face. His eyes full of murderous intent fixed on the 3 alien gods in front of him who were stealing their homes. Destroying lightning finger. Hundreds of purple and blue lasers burst out. Under thunder attribute bonus and talent gain. With such a terrifying speed, even the bat-like human being with the lower peak strength cannot escape the fate of being hit. Rumble. What? Hit by dozens of lightning fingers. The fat bat immediately bared its teeth and let out a cry. It hurts. Damn it, why does this skill that only contains a trace of divine energy cause such damage? He stopped his movements, and saw that his body was covered with dense scorched marks, and he immediately became angry. I'm going to kill him. Lakas and the other flame creature are not much better. Both are the true gods of the lower late stage. After being hit by this force, you can also feel obvious pain. Magic enhancement talent. Lakas is worthy of being a true god who has been in the sea of the gods for hundreds of years, and suddenly fell under Lin Yi's attributes and attacks. Identify the cause of abnormal lightning damage. Blood shield. Lakas's sharp fingertips shook slightly. A shield made of blood stood guard in front of the three of them. Isolate the subsequent purple and blue electric light from the outside. The true undead god is dead. So fast, Tumo suddenly said. These damned guys are probably the ones who killed Tu Yun. Murderer, don't you even have the awareness to be invaders? The three girls including Lin Yi and Albetha took advantage of the time gap to catch up with the three alien gods. The moment when the four faced the latter directly. The situation was completely under Lin Yi's control. You seem very confident. Laka's pupils glowed red. Without any warning, he raised his fingertips, and a drop of scarlet blood flew out towards Albetha's forehead. In his mind, there has been a picture of the demon woman being pierced through the head, and then killing the male human by the way. Snapped. Albetha stretched out her palm fiercely, and grabbed the not-so-slow drop of blood. Zzz. The corrosive power in the blood is at work. However, the huge amount of energy had no effect at all in the hands of Albetha. Not good. When Lakas looked shocked, a red light flew towards him quickly. He hastily raised his blood shield in an attempt to resist the red light. But, with Albetha's physique boosted 100 times, a 20% damage bonus is enough to easily kill any lower true god. Under the creepy gaze of Fatbat and Tumo, that red glow actually penetrated the blood shield directly, and hit Lakas on the forehead like an eye for an eye. Puff. Blood 4.3 fluid splashes everywhere. Before Lakas could react, the whole world went dark. Albetha killed the true god, the lower peak Batman, and gained a boost in divine energy. Your hero Albetha's level has been raised. The current level is true god, mid-lower level. Open black lens bracket. You have participated in the kill and the divine energy has increased. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Your level has increased. Close black lens bracket. Opening square bracket. Closing square bracket. Don't even think about running away. Lin Yi looked gloomy. The electric light in his hand seemed to want no money, and he blasted towards the other two who were about to run away. No, do not want. The fat bat's cheeks quivered. The shadow of death has completely enveloped him and Tumo. Don't talk about revenge now. Even the enemies who can be killed by the real Shendu at the top and lower ranks, wouldn't killing them be like killing chickens? Sanction of the holy light. Sauron Fia didn't hold back either, and stretched out her white wings. The dazzling light instantly enveloped the two true gods and alien races. Open black lens bracket. Your hero, close black lens bracket. As the island reminder kept ringing. When the holy light dissipated, the traces of the three people had already disappeared in the air. It's like it doesn't exist at all. Only one blue crystal gem was left, suspended in the air. Island owner. Except for some low-level undead who escaped with random scrolls, all the water dragons left by Queen Nako have been cleaned up. And Li and Togle changed into clean clothes, knelt down on one knee respectfully, and reported the battle situation to Lin Yi. My lords played a vital role in this battle, killing the enemy true god and other mythical units. In the follow-up battles, we killed a total of 30 enemy Lone Star Island owners, 100 legendary level island owners, and unknown epic level island owners. The undead have no subsidiary creatures, and are all composed of undead monsters. With the assistance of the water dragon, everything has been cleaned up. After clearing all the islands, except for special items, convert all resources into island coins, and the estimated income is 70 million. Seeing that Li stopped suddenly, Lin Yi probably knew the content of the next message. Sighing. It's a loss. In a battle of this scale, the undead are strange. He was already mentally prepared. After all, these fighters are not babies raised in the back garden. 300 people of the Angry Fang clan were killed, 1091 were seriously injured, and 2012 were slightly injured. Terra mermaids killed 4 male fighters, seriously injured 30, and lightly injured 210. Soldiers who die in battle are heroic. And Lee bit the bullet and reported the battle damage. Tager beside him also held his breath, ready to be reprimanded by Lin Yi. The seriously injured are healed with the fruit of life, and 100 people with the best performance will be selected. 1 week later, the fruit of life will be strengthened. Let the two races make preparations for new breeding, and when the new island is found, they will start large-scale reproduction. Lin Yi didn't blame them. After all, the two were just ordinary clan leaders before. He has no experience in leading troops at all. Lin Yi's order to extract the island's internal affairs officer from the frontline command troops is outrageous. This loss is also within the normal range. Without taking the fruit of life, it is understandable that accidents occurred during the battle. Thank you, Island Master. We'll start making arrangements right away. And Lee and Togle breathed a sigh of relief. After saluting to Lin Yi again, he respectfully exited the living room of the villa. 90 million, just a little short of the 200 million goal. Lin Yi stretched his limbs, and there was the sound of crackling beans. The operation is over. He has been promoted to the middle stage of the lower god, and his attribute value has also doubled. The same goes for Neko and Albetha. However, because Albetha killed the lower-level true gods, she gained more divine energy, with an attribute value of 2.7. Sauron Fia is the highest level. It has reached the late stage of the lower god, and all attributes have reached an average of 4 points. Harvest. In addition to the 90 million island gold coins converted from various resources, there are 2 more special things. Open black lens bracket building upgrade order close black lens bracket. Type. Consumable props. Quality. Mythical. Effect. Improve the quality of any building by 1 level. Remarks. Cannot be used for arms buildings. Open black lens bracket seal perception stone close black lens bracket. Type. True God. Subordinate. Quality. Normal. Effect. Inject divine power to search for the location of the heart of the ocean. The building upgrade order was found from a Lone Star Undead Island owner. I don't know if he just got it, and he hasn't had time to sell it for money, or pay tribute to the undead ministers. In the end, he died and gave it to Lin Yi. There are not many buildings on the island that can be used to upgrade. The qualification training pool has been excluded. The elixir can't keep up with the consumption, and the greater role of the washing pool is really reserved for Lin Yi Hot Spring. The others are arms buildings, which cannot be used due to prop restrictions. Finally, only one option left. The quality of the real illusion practice field has been improved, the current quality, True God. Close black lens bracket. Hey, it can meet the 3 requirements of lower, middle, and upper. Lin Yi was a little surprised. In this way, for the few fighters on the island who were promoted to true gods, you can get combat upgrade energy from the real illusion training field again. Heart of the ocean. Holding the blue stone, Lin Yi carefully injected a trace of divine power, for fear of accidentally breaking it. Before the peak bat died, he tried his best to protect the stone. Enough to show its preciousness. Is it the center of the blue star sea, at a depth of 100,000 meters? A radar-like picture appears in the brain. The so-called heart of the ocean is at the bottom of the blue star. If Lin Yi wanted to, you can use the positioning teleportation scroll in your hand at any time. Since bats value it so much, these alien true gods came to the Blue Star Sea territory probably because of this thing. Lin Yi took the gem back into the space ring. The so-called enemy needs, the more we cannot let him get it. The more the enemy doesn't want it, the more we have to personally deliver it to him. He made a quick decision. Prepare to start positioning transmission, transfer location after 24 hours. After explaining the follow-up plan clearly, Lin Yi opened the social interface. At this time, Mu Baiquan has sent several messages in succession. The blueprint of the Talent Awakening Potion has been discussed. The patent fee is 20 million island gold coins, and the production line will be built in the Blue Star Yan country. A total of 109 families participated in this project, and you will hold 51% of the absolute shares in the follow-up. In the future, the price of the Awakening Potion is initially estimated to be around 20 silver coins. What do you think? After receiving the drawing of the small briquettes, Lin Yi immediately sent him the screenshot 320. The conditions given by the other party are still within his tolerance range. The whole blue star. There are absolutely not many sea island coins. After all, I have just entered the island world for 300 years, and if I want to make gold coins recognized by the island rules, the only way is to mine magic gold ore. Think about the Magic Eagle clan and the Undead clan. These Tier 3 sea areas have existed for a long time. The total amount of island gold coins in the bags of the Zeons is only tens of millions. After Blue Star took out 50 million as rewards for the points battle, now it can still take out 20 million. I don't know how much money I got from various places. And subsequent awakening potions, 20 silver coins each. The price of something that can change a person's life is even cheaper than cabbage. To put it bluntly, it is to improve the bottom level strength of the blue stars. After deducting the material cost and labor cost, Lin Yi estimates that he can get a few thousand gold coins every month in the later stage, which is already very good. So, this is only what Lin Yi can bear. After all, there is no such thing as the support policy of the Blue Star Council. Where he crossed 18 years ago, he might have died in an unknown alley. Okay, check your email. After Lin Yi replied to the message, the 20 million island gold coins were taken out. 210 million gold coins. Enough to upgrade. Boom. The chessboard shattered. The handsome Batman's face was stiff, and his smile was frozen. Received the shocking good news from his subordinates. He hasn't recovered from the excitement yet. The prompt sound from the island in the ear is like a needle prick. Very ear-piercing. Locas is dead. Batman rolled his eyes. The flame creature in front of him also became irritable. Like dynamite, it will explode anytime. Tumo is dead too. The atmosphere instantly became frozen. The two dispatched 5 lower true god heroes each. Among them is Locas, who is about to enter the mid-level god, the lower level peak. When avoiding surveillance and shutting his subordinates into the sea area where the enchantment was opened. They never thought about it. Nearly half of this huge lineup was lost in just a few days. In the Sea of God's domain. Never before has such a serious loss been suffered. There are mid-level creatures. Batman's pupils exude substantial red ripples. An inexplicable sense of crisis struck. Let the others come back first, and we will transfer the God War Island there in advance. Use the God War scroll when necessary. Be sure to capture that world tree. The Batman said with a bloody heart, gnashing his teeth. It is good. The flame creature also knows, but now it doesn't know the details of the other party. Can't act rashly. If the opponent's island master is too strong, he can also use the God Battle Scroll to initiate a God battle with the opponent. Faced with the invitation of God War, if you refuse, the island owner and all units under his command will fall into a 1-year weakness period. Strength reduced by 35%. They can easily kill each other. It would be even better if the other party accepts it. The two parties involved in the Battle of Gods, the island owner and the hero, will all enter another space. The subordinate units of each other's islands are left behind for a life and death duel, and the winner is determined. The loser will lose all the resources of the island, and their strength will be reduced by 4 city. And the island owner and the hero will have a second decisive battle in a different space. It can be said that once the War of Gods starts, it will be a death battle of either you or me. With the affiliated groups they have accumulated for many years. Isn't it easy to deal with the subordinate of a sea island master who has just entered God's domain? Do you want to consume 200 million island gold coins to upgrade the quality of the world tree to the true God middle level? Close black lens bracket. See tips. Lin Yi looked at the pile of space rings in front of him. With tears in his eyes, he confirmed the choice. They are all family property. This is gone. The quality of world tree is being improved. It is expected to take 48 hours. Silently took back the empty ring. Walked towards the real illusion practice field in the rear. At this time, Neko, Yar, Sauronfia and others are also here. After upgrading, it can generate creatures of the upper true god level. If you can defeat enemies with the same level of characteristics and skills. Even if there are quite talented people on the island. If you can leapfrog the battle. That can almost be said to be a monstrous level existence. Few, unfortunately, no such person has appeared on the island so far. Whether it's Sauron Fia or Albetha. Let's level up. Lin Yi took a deep breath. After opening a practice room, I found someone with slightly stronger attributes to start a battle with my training. Time flies. 24 hours passed in a blink of an eye. The fixed point teleportation scroll came into play. After the island was shrouded by a white light curtain upside down, it took less than a breath. It disappeared into the sea. It's here, mid-air. Lin Yi took out the sealed perception gem, frowning to see the difference between the sea below and other places. Seal. As the name suggests, the so-called heart of the ocean is by no means a simple item or equipment. Under the 100,000-meter deep sea, there must be some kind of living thing or substance. Let's go down and have a look. He greeted the other 3 women. Jumped into the blue water together. Na-Ke transformed into the main body. The red tail flicked slightly. It looks very cute. Lin Yi manipulated divine power and covered himself with a water barrier. Can't help but touch Na-Ke's gleaming tail scales. Silky smooth too. Each scale has a glassy texture. Very comfortable to paddle. Na-Ke covered her flushed face. The feeling of her tail being touched made her almost faint. Sorry. When Lin Yi touched the last fish tail with his fingertips, he realized that his fingertips lost his composure. It's okay, big brother. Na-Ke's voice was as thin as a mosquito's moan. If Lin Yi hadn't been promoted to a true god, might not be able to hear it. Albetha and Sauron Fia next to each other showed different expressions. The former looked joking. The latter seemed to be thinking about the feasibility of something. The 4 of them went deep into the bottom of the sea. Until the vision becomes more and more blurred. The whole environment was plunged into darkness. Holy light. Sauron Fia casts holy light directly. The skill enough to kill the next god was used as a torch. Under her control, the brightness of the pure white light has been attenuated. Not too eye-catching. With vision, the 4 of them dived faster again. Come here for a while. A blue light spot appeared in Lin Yi's line of sight. It should be there. Lin Yi started to accelerate. Until that spot of light gets brighter and brighter. Only then did I see its true appearance. It was a blue gemstone floating on black glass. The black glass takes the gemstone as the center of the circle and spreads towards the Fang Ping pavement in all directions. Boundless. Not even the holy light of Sauron Fia can shine in. Open black lens bracket. Heart of the ocean. Close black lens bracket. Durability. 100/100. Type. Sealer. Quality. Main god level. Effect. Enhances the sea enchantment barrier and reduces the attributes of shadow creatures within 10 kilometers. Remarks. As the resistance of the sealed item intensifies, the strength of the seal will gradually decrease until the durability value is lost. Master God level. Lin Yi's pupils shrank slightly. Currently, he only knows 3 levels above mythical level. They are the lower, middle, and upper true gods. There are no more sources of information. At the main god level, there is really no concept. Is there something down here? Lin Yi frowned. Take out the long spear weapon captured from the undead master before. Cautiously stabbed towards the glass under the heart of the ocean. Unexpectedly, the spear seemed to pass through a layer of membrane. Nothing stands in the way. Crack. There was a crisp metal collision sound. When he picked up the long gun, half of the gun body was eaten away. The remaining fracture was also stained with a layer of black mucus. Wang's shit. The corner of Lin Yi's mouth twitched. After all, this is a low-level artifact. Although there is a time limit, it is too bad to be eaten up like this. My lord, this place is cut off. Can't feel anything below. Sauron Fia doesn't know if it can be resurrected by relying on it. People with high skills are bold. He stretched out his bare hands towards the bottom. Only, no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't penetrate the glass with her hands. Very weird. Don't touch it yet. Wait until you figure it out, then think about how to deal with it. Lin Yi is not careless either. The island world is extremely mysterious. No one expected what would happen next. Just when he thought he was going to return in vain. Suddenly, he actually received a notification from the fishing system. Supreme Fishing System reminds you that it has detected the appearance of a real god mid-level fishing spot. Please choose the host as soon as possible. Fishing spot. Lin Yi instinctively turned on the fishing mode and found out. It has ripples with 2 white rings. It's actually right under the heart of the ocean. There are fishing spots on the bottom of the sea. Lin Yi suddenly had a bold guess in his heart. Under the black glass, there is still a layer of ocean, right? But, except for the middle-level fishing spots in front of you, other places are empty, not a single common fishing spot. Get this done first. Not wanting to understand, Lin Yi simply gave up. Anyway, everything that is fished has a binding nature. Don't worry about catching a dangerous thing out. Then, even if the fishing gear is far away on the island. A thought. It turned into a streamer and flew to his hand. Be alert. Lin Yi said hello to Shi. Immediately, the fish hook was thrown into the center of the ripple. The hook goes into the black glass. It was as if it had penetrated directly, without any movement. Until the fish floated strangely on the glass, Lin Yi didn't understand the principle. Since someone is looking for the heart of the ocean, there must be similar existences in other sea areas. While holding the fishing rod, Lin Yi recalled those alien gods in his mind. As long as this phenomenon is not unique in the Blue Star Sea territory. When the sky falls, there are tall people to support it. They are a small planet that has just entered the island for less than 300 years, why worry about it? The 3 women were stunned for a while when they saw him fishing on the bottom of the sea. But also know the importance of things. They leaned close to Lin Yi back to back. Guarded with a serious look. This keep. It's been 20 hours. Lin Yi held the fishing rod without moving, even though he was already a little annoyed. In order to fish and harvest, I still wait patiently. Finally, the fish floated a bit. The magnitude is very small. Lin Yi, with quick hands and quick eyes, seized the right moment and pulled out the fishing rod. There is a large gap between the detection host and the target power, and the auxiliary power is increasing. Close black lens bracket. Lin Yi, who has not experienced the blessing of the system for a long time, feels like a god in an instant. The fishing rod is pulled into a crescent moon. And, under his rhythmic contraction, it only took 3 hours. A mass of glowing objects was pulled from the glass by him. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the early stage hero of the true god, the descendant of the beast god Afri, at the true god middle level fishing spot, close black lens bracket. Hero binding successfully. Loyalty locked. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining a professional building, Dragon Knight altar, at the heavy god middle level fishing point, close black lens bracket. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have obtained a special building at the true god middle level fishing spot, Temple of Tranquility, close black lens bracket. Lin Yi's eyes widened. Listening to the system prompts echoing in my ears, I felt an unprecedented happiness. Triple explosion. And they all exist at the middle level, which is too cool. Where am I? Afri, who still had fishing lines wrapped around her body, showed a hint of confusion in her eyes. When she moved her black eyes to Lin Yi, there seemed to be a natural sense of intimacy. Island owner. Responding almost instinctively, Afri made a mature and elegant voice. Shine with the holy light. After a short period of joy, Lin Yi took a look at his new partner. Avery is tall and tall. It is nearly 1.8 meters long, almost on par with Lin Yi. Wearing a slim light armor made of animal skin, it is easy to show the lordotic backward figure. Especially those slender tui. The skin exposed outside the light armor has no trace of fat. Fair and firm, short silver hair is clean and neat. Coupled with the refined cheeks full of Yuji's attributes, it is completely difficult to distinguish the winner from Yarzierv. Each has its own advantages. Avli is not as charming as Albertha, but she has a wild taste. Master, you've been watching for 10 minutes and 17 seconds. Albertha tugged on Lin Yi's sleeve and reminded, the other 2 things fell, what should I do? Hear something drop. Lin Yi came back to his senses immediately, and quickly looked at the things on the hook. Still there. Go back BHBG to get you. After glaring at Albertha viciously, Lin Yi nodded to Afri and said, hello. My name is Lin Yi, welcome to join us, this is. He introduced several women to a flea one by one. Then he continued, we've been staying below for a while, let's go up first, otherwise Wei Wei and the others will be worried. Talking. He ticked his chin towards a Fuli, motioning to follow him. Quickly return along the same road. In the meantime, Check out the 2 architectural drawings for new fishing. Open black lens bracket Dragon Knight Altar close black lens bracket. Type: occupational building. Quality: True God Intermediate. Effect: after training, you can get all the following professional skills: 1. Spiritual communication. 2. Dragon Tooth Charge. 3. Life Contract. 4. God Killing Spear. Building Consumption. Island Gold Coins by 5 million, Building Blueprints X1. Restriction: only after unlocking the representative emblem of the Knight race can further study. Open black lens bracket Temple of Tranquility close black lens bracket. Type: special construction. Effect: calm the complex emotions in the heart, increase the probability of comprehending skills, or improve the quality of original skills. Building Consumption. Island Gold Coins by 10 million, Building Blueprints X1, God Branches X200. Read the content of the 2 drawings. A look of joy immediately appeared in Lin Yi's heart. The appearance of these 2 just made up for the last piece of the puzzle on the island. The orcs of the Angry Fang clan under his command have corresponding ways to improve their talent and quality. Although small Briquette's research progress may take some time, but he believes that everyone on the island will have high-quality talents in the future. Only the skills are almost meaningless. Buying books from the exchange will make it impossible for the Legion to uniformly train the battle formation. Everyone fights on their own, just like loose sand. Now, there is finally a unified skill system. Dragon Knight's 4 skills are very practical, 2 auxiliary skills and 2 attack skills. There is even a very thoughtful long-range attack, the Spear of Killing Gods. The damage bonus is also very high. The Temple of Tranquility is an existence that is no less important than the illusion training ground. Greatly increase the upper limit of skill power. It just so happens that the skills of the girls and Lin Yi can no longer keep up with the intensity of the battle, so you can use the temple to try to improve the quality of your skills. As for building requirements, Lin Yi smiled slightly. It can be very harsh for others. But he has a broken orc tooth given by Grom, and he has planted a living world tree. Exactly meets the build requirements. As for Avli, of course, when everyone left the sea and returned to the island, Lin Yi opened her information interface. Open black lens bracket Afri close black lens bracket. Loyalty: 100 locked. Age: 20 years old. Race: deity. Level: true god, early median. Person: true god. Constitution: 40. J: 40. Agility: 40. Spirit: 30. Talent: Berserker Flame, True God, attack and movement speed increased by 100 times, reaction speed increased by 100 times, attack with collapse effect, not restricted by control skills, damage reduced by 99%. Skills: Beast Taming, Racial Passive, Broken Fist, Single Target Burst, Beast Blood Boiling, Racial Passive, Blood Sucking, 9,999 combos, Single Target Burst. Avli stood on the coast and looked curiously at the island in front of her. According to the descriptions of the companions just now, is this the home of the island owner? Nourishing. A flash of electricity struck while she was looking around. She turned her cheek sideways and moved slightly less than 3 centimeters. Lin Yi's determined shot was missed. What happened to the island owner? Afri turned around and saw that it was him and asked puzzledly. Too fast. Lin Yi clapped his hands and praised. I want to test your reaction speed, but I didn't expect it to be so fast. Just now, he was a temptation initiated at the shortest distance. Even if there is a difference in attributes, ordinary middle gods will also be recruited. Unexpectedly, Afri was able to catch this kind of attack, and adjusted such a small distance in time to avoid it completely. Responds almost entirely on instinct. Too strong. In addition to the 2 speed gain boost, her boxing also comes with special effects similar to silence and armor breaking, which can block the flow of divine power from being invoked by others. Makes it impossible to cast active skills, and ignore part of the armor value, causing real damage. Comes with control-free effects and injury-free features. All of them can make her an extremely terrifying existence in one-on-one. It's an honor for Avli to receive your praise. A flea smiled when she heard the words, and bowed slightly to salute. Even with light armor, this bending still made Lin Yi's eyelids twitch. Good guy. Yar, take a filly to the villa to find a room to settle in, and ask Anli to prepare some living utensils. Lin Yi greeted the succubus beside him. Fishing took a lot of time. After dozens of hours, the world tree should have been promoted. He shifted his gaze to the towering giant tree in the center of the island. Walk quickly with a slightly expectant mood. Open black lens bracket world tree, close black lens bracket. Type: God tree. Personality: True God, medium level. Consume island gold coins by 500 million, island amethyst coins x1, can improve quality. Age: 102,047. Crown height: 101 meters. Harvestable: Fruit of Life strong x10, Fruit of Life x250. Status: the fruit is gestating. Halo: within the range of crown height x100 m, all species enjoy the nourishment of life energy, naturally improve the quality of the body, accelerate reproduction, and practice. The growth time of the divine fruit has not changed, it is also 8,000 years, but after taking it many times, the person who can be promoted can reach the middle god. After reading the fruit information, Lin Yi suddenly felt that the 200 million island gold coins were worth the money. The other two fruits of life have also undergone major changes. Taking the basic fruit multiple times can promote the myth, and the enhanced version of the fruit of life also has a trace of divine power. According to the different absorption efficiency of each person, sooner or later they can be promoted to the next true god. To this, Lin Yi couldn't help thinking, this kind of personality is a sacred tree. Are there any other places in the island world? Even if there is such a spiritual plant, this long growth cycle. The survival rate is frighteningly low. It's best not to leak information about World Tree, otherwise there may be unexpected troubles. Lin Yi held his chin. I am going to let the little coal ball start a project on the hidden magic circle. As for the island amethyst coins needed for the next promotion, according to the above description, it is a currency whose value is much higher than that of island gold coins. Amethyst coins can be converted into 100 million island gold coins. But the latter cannot be converted into amethyst coins. If you want to get it, you can only find the minerals that can be minted into the currency, amethyst god mine. I spent half a day in the forum. Lin Yi did not find any information about this mineral, so he could only produce the two architectural drawings he had just obtained. Dragon Knight Altar and Temple of Tranquility. Lost Island Gold Coins by 10 million, Building Blueprints x1. It seems inappropriate to place the Dragon Knight altar on the initial island. After seeing a simple and plain hall made of ancient wood, the construction began. Lin Yi put away another drawing. After binding the new island, build it directly on the new island. It can be more convenient for the Legion under the command to study and change jobs. The only trouble left is to find the dragon. For this kind of strange, extremely powerful mythical species, Lin Yi still has a way. Clatter. After the real orb was infused with divine power, it slowly fell into the sea level. A huge vortex will soon take shape. Under the influence of divine power, orbs take effect very quickly. In less than a few minutes, a phantom of a Tier 6, 1-star island appeared in Lin Yi's field of vision. Open black lens bracket Wind Dragon Island. Coordinates, close black lens bracket. Target quantity, 500. Close black lens bracket. Hiss. There are 500 giant dragons. Lin Yi took a deep breath. The scale of this quantity far exceeded his expectations. If all tamed, he can immediately have an extra Dragon Knight Legion. And in the follow-up time, it can radiate through the world tree, and the number of dragons can be increased due to the magnitude. The location is close to the border of the Demon Blue Sea, so far away. See the movement track of Wind Dragon Island. Lin flew straight towards the control room and activated the island magic circle. The island is submerged in the sea. Under the action of the leap formation, the sunset rose again. With the sound of splashing water splashes, the treetops of the world tree pierced the rolling waves, revealing the lush branches flowing with golden threads. Roar. A giant dragon with a body length of 100 meters and covered with green scales made a roar that pierced gold and cracked rocks. This dragon cry seemed to be a signal. The mountains behind it are continuous, and it is a very vast island. There are more and more vigorous dragon cries. Wind Dragon. Lin Yi's eyes rested on the vigilant green giant beast. With a light tap of the finger, Nake behind him raised the mob. Countless water elements condense from around the ocean. In a blink, hundreds of water dragons have already formed and dried. In the sky, more than 1,000 dragons fought fiercely. The scene is magnificent. After the turquoise wind dragon was hit by the water-breathing cannonball, it continued to fall to the sea. The splash of water is more than 10 meters. But the pride of the dragon clan does not allow them to fight in fear. After using magic to alleviate the injury, he continued to flap his wings and return to the sky. Fight with those water-summoned creatures in close quarters. But even if the water dragon is shattered by the siege, there will still be new replacements appearing out of thin air. Even if the giant dragon is brave and good at fighting, it is extremely mighty. Under constant consumption, one after another, giant dragons couldn't bear it and returned to the vast island. Spellcaster, how dare you come out and fight me to the death? A huge monster that was much larger than other wind dragons swept out from the depths of the island. Incredibly fast. You can only hide. 487, behind summoned objects, what a skill. After the wind dragon king tore apart an elemental water dragon, his huge vertical pupils were full of anger. Locked tightly on the small island that suddenly appeared. Big brother, that big dragon is a bit powerful, if you keep throwing water, you won't be able to take it down. Na-Ke turned to look at Lin Yi. Suppress the other wind dragons first, and I will deal with this wind dragon king. Lin Yi closed the information panel in front of him. The giant dragon that made the sound in front is the patriarch of the giant dragon of this island. The whole body attribute has reached 99% of deification. Only one step away, you can be promoted to the next true god. Surrender to me. Your clansmen will be safe and sound, and will enjoy extremely rich treatment in the future. Otherwise, a purple-blue lightning flashed from Lin Yi's fingertips. The threats in the words were unabashed. Creatures like giant dragons are extremely arrogant, you and him are soft. It just pushes the nose up the face. You can only beat it with your fists. Ha 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 ha. The wind dragon king locked his eyes on the things that looked like saddles on the coast of Daohai, and mocked, you want to use my wind dragon clan as a mount. Let's see if you have the ability. Finished. Its vertical pupils became full of viciousness. The wings vibrated, turning into a green afterimage and rushing towards Lin Yi in the air. It has been in this sea area for hundreds of years. Their family has never encountered an opponent comparable to it. The human island owner in front of him, in its view, is just a species that can be taken care of easily as before. Zilai. Suddenly, a flash of lightning flashed by. Fanglong's green vertical pupils shrank suddenly. What happened? What is that? It didn't react at all, and felt a sharp pain in its chest. Then the whole body seemed to be paralyzed, losing balance uncontrollably. He fell hard onto the coast of that strange island. Boom! Sand splash. The wind dragon king looked incredulously at the wound on his chest that penetrated completely and exuded a burnt smell. Shocking, only 1 millimeter away from the fatal heart. As long as it is a little bit off, this attack can instantly kill it. God. After suddenly understanding the opponent's strength, the wind dragon king let out a mouthful of hot air from his nose lying on the beach. It never expected that there would be a true god-level existence targeting its own group. Surrender. Lin Yi fell to the front of Fanglongwang's huge head, and his melancholy body stood parallel to Guzheng's vertical pupil. His fingertips were beating with lightning, waiting for the wind dragon king's reply. HMPH. Even if my race dies, I will not submit to any race. Even gods are not excluded. The wind dragon king's eyes were extremely determined. It was beyond Lin Yi's expectations. In his opinion, just beat these winds to death. Under the coercion of disparity in force, they should obey obediently. He turned his head and looked at the green shadows in the distance who wanted to fight the elemental water dragon regardless of life and death. Lin Yi suddenly felt a headache. What should I do? I can't really kill him. Island owner, give it to me. A flea suddenly walked over with graceful steps from behind. After giving a salute to Lin Yi, he went directly to the wind dragon king. Humph. Die. The eyes of the wind dragon king were full of killing intent, and he opened his bloody mouth and spit out a sharp dragon's breath. Even if the woman in front of her is far stronger than a human man, it still does. Be obedient. A fully smacked the wind dragon king's chin with a big mouth. The latter was caught off guard, and its powerful force could not allow it to resist. The dragon's breath that hadn't been blurted out was swallowed back alive. One of the sharp fangs was broken. Very embarrassed. This is your future. A future that makes the ethnic group more prosperous. A Fuli stepped forward step by step along the nose of the Wind Dragon King, and stood between its eyebrows. The faint runes coming from the tip of the right finger were submerged in it. At the same time, in the field of vision of the Wind Dragon King, an extremely shocking picture appeared. The overwhelming group of wind dragons circled around the 10,000-meter-high world tree. A human island owner stood on the top of a giant tree surrounded by golden light. In the next second, countless gods with unfathomable strength and movements that caused changes in the world appeared. The wind dragons roared, and a powerful orc, elf and other races found their wind dragon partners. When the island owner pointed at the invading gods, riding on the back of the dragon, he charged at those gods. Under the impact of the wind dragon and knights, the invading powerful gods are like a thin piece of paper. A face-to-face was killed cleanly, incomparably powerful. And more similar pictures flashed by. The fierce gaze of the Wind Dragon King began to ease. Perhaps, only such an island owner can be worthy of the surrender of the Fanglong clan. Open black lens bracket. Wind Dragon clan wants to join the island camp, is it approved? Close black lens bracket. Hear the hint of the island coming from the ear. Lin Yi was slightly taken aback. What did Avery do? Why in 3.5, he tapped the Wind Dragon King's head, and the latter surrendered. Subsequently, he reacted immediately. As a descendant of the beast god's bloodline, a Fuli has the ability to domesticate monsters. Strictly speaking, the dragon is also a kind of warcraft. It's just that because it is too powerful, it breaks away from the warcraft system and divides into a separate race. Then, as a true god, it makes sense that a Fuli can make the Wind Dragon King surrender. The corners of Lin Yi's mouth twitched slightly. Although the process is somewhat different, the purpose is achieved. Yes, ding, the Fanglong clan has successfully joined the island. Population plus 500, average lone star level 90. Ding, Wind Dragon King's loyalty to you has increased, the current loyalty is 100 automatically locked. Ding, the loyalty of the Fanglong clan to you has increased, with an average loyalty of 100 automatically locked. Supreme Lord, the Fanglong clan is at your disposal from now on. The Wind Dragon King prostrated himself on the beach, his reverent spirit tensed. Behind it, the rest of the tribe also used wind magic to crawl on the water, quietly waiting for the next order from the human island owner in front of him. Very well, Lin Yi promises to the Wind Dragon clan. From now on, no matter how talented you are, how high your quality is. Lin Yi was suspended in midair. Under the influence of divine power, the clear and serious voice resounded in the ears of every giant dragon. As long as it is allowed by the rules of the island, whether it is a mythical level, a true god level or a higher level, all wind dragons will receive the blessing of the corresponding level. This is a reward for your surrender. 500 life fruits, which can bring the quality to mythical level, were thrown at all the giant dragons and floated in front of the latter. Is this the fruit of life? No, its effect is far more than that. It is the fruit of life that has been specially amplified. After all dragons get the fruit of life. The vertical pupils are full of happiness. Among them, a small number of them were born with only legendary or lone stars. Or some dragons have natural defects. This fruit of life is too important. Even those without the above defects can still take the fruit to improve their own level. Did not expect. Just joined the island, you can get this kind of reward. Very beyond their expectations. After feeling that there are higher level spiritual fruits on the towering giant tree in the center of the island, these wind dragons are eager to make contributions. Kill any enemy for the island owner. After you get used to the basic conditions of the island, 3 days later, you will learn about professional altars with the Nuya clan orcs on your original island. Now, let's transform the environment of the island first. Lin Yi set his sights on the island where Fanglong originally lived. Tier 6 and 1 star. Although the area is not as large as the island discovered before, it is generally enough for a long time. In the future, we will fight against true god level enemies. Then call it the island of the meteor god. Island number TT 1215. The exploration is 100% complete. The resistance forces on the island have surrendered, and the integration standard has been reached. Is it integrated? Close black lens bracket. Lin Yi clicked no and closed the information prompt. From the ring, he took out a mythical island binding scroll. Do you want to bind the Tier 6 1-star island numbered, TT 1214 feet? After binding, the island will be attached to the territory, and all island functions can be used in the island. Close black lens bracket. Yes. Confirm with the instruction. The scroll burned from the corners, and obscure and simple runes flew out from the embers, scattered in every corner of Meteor God Island. Not long after, the island alert sounded again. All the runes have not entered the regular foundation at the bottom of the island. The island of Meteor God covers 25,000 square kilometers and is circular, surrounded by mountains. The interior is an open basin with moist soil. They are all environments that Fenglong prefers. The portal to the initial island is in the very center of the basin. But, if you want to build a war base, this kind of structure will definitely not work. After Lin Yi pondered for a while, he called Wei Wei. Not long after, the pretty wood elf flew to his side and asked, "Island Master, what's wrong?" "Wei Wei, you can change the soil quality of this island. Transformed into a metallic material," Lin Yi ordered. After being promoted to True God, Wei Wei has the ability to change the properties of soil at will. Not just for gaining weight. It is good. Wei Wei nodded slightly. Squat on the ground and reach out to touch the soft soil. I saw a ripple of divine power blooming from the fingertips in vain, and spreading around the island at an extremely fast speed. Immediately afterwards, the soil in front of the two began to wilt and collapse at a speed visible to the naked eye. Then beat rhythmically. Clang clang. Bursts of metal friction sound from weak to strong. Those sluggish earthy hues turned gray-silver. At the same time, take the ripple diffusion point as the center. The same scene repeated itself. According to the gray-silver metal diffusion rate, it only takes 7 days. The entire island can be completely changed. At that time, many mountains may collapse and all vegetation will wither. But the benefits that come with it are also very substantial. Build a magic circle with the entire island made of metal. It can greatly improve the formation effect and reduce energy consumption. The defensive advantages are not comparable to ordinary islands. Lin Yi saw the only 5 million island coins left in his purse, and placed the Dragon Knight altar in the center of the basin. Consume island gold coins by 5 million, consume Orc Great Chief's Broken Tooth X1, and consume Building Blueprints X1. After waiting for 12 hours, you can start professional training. Return to 7 Moon Garden. As soon as Lin Yi entered the villa, he received several good news one after another. "Boss, what do you think of this change in the time velocity magic circle?" The little coal ball was very excited holding the blueprint. "Show the latest experimental results to Lin Yi. Time flow rate." Lin Yi frowned. "Why is this girl studying this thing again? Aren't you developing talent awakening potions?" The little coal ball seemed to see his thoughts and said with a smile, "After developing the first version of God's Blood, I don't think it's interesting to only add 1 level to its efficacy. I plan to start experimenting directly with the dollar level. In order to ensure the progress of the experiment, I specially made this time flow velocity array. Take a look." "Good guy. Jump from C level to S level in one go." Lin Yi's mouth twitched, and he took the drawing in front of him. Time flow control array from type Island Magic Array. Quality Myth. Effect: change the passage of time in the local area. The time scale is 1/1000. Consumption: after opening, it consumes 10 island gold coins per second. Range: free adjustment within 15 square kilometers. Side effects: all organisms in the flow rate area cannot improve quality, crops cannot grow, and the temperature is greatly increased. Note: this item is invalid for island owners, heroes, and spiritual plants. 1,000 times faster, and the gold coin consumption hasn't increased yet. Lin Yi couldn't help but take another look at the little briquettes. However, the side effects are also very obvious. It means that the normal way can only allow subordinate races to reproduce in it and learn fighting skills. The living environment is extremely harsh. If you want to break through, you have to come to the outside world to improve slowly. But that's just the normal way. For Lin Yi, this is a valuable formation. The quality allows qualified affiliates to close the magic circle at regular intervals every 1,000 days. Come to the outside world and take the fruit of life to directly improve. Under the influence of the World Tree Halo, the latter two can basically offset the negative effects. In this way, the population of Terras and Ragtooths is about to explode. Hey, in order to increase the progress of the experiment. The little coal ball smiled triumphantly. Schedule. Hear this. Lin Yi took out a token from the storage ring and hesitated for a while. Use this to increase a batch of magic elves, I believe it will help you a lot. Really, thank you boss. The boss is mighty. The little briquettes got the token, and when they learned the effect of using it, they immediately smiled. After doubling the number of other elves in the research center, her research and development speed of various projects will be several times faster than the current one. Go. Lin Yi waved his hand to dismiss this glib elf. A troop expansion order with no level cap. Originally, I wanted to keep it and use it when I encountered high-level arms. Now it seems that the benefits brought by the magic elves are beyond imagination. Expand the scale of magic elves in advance. You can enjoy the benefits they bring in advance. Besides, on social media, Mu Baikuan also sent 243 a piece of good news. The Talent Awakening potion production line has been built, and the first batch of potions will be on the market tomorrow. And, the most important thing is that the Blue Star Terrans discovered an 8th Order 8-star island. An island full of magic gold mines. A full 20 million square kilometers, ores that can be cast into island gold coins can be seen everywhere. Now, all Blue Star Island owners are cleaning up the island. Many island owners are units with mining talents already. Even island owners who are not engaged in life. You can also use other strong islands as a springboard to become a glorious worker. Once that island starts to collect, the per capita assets of Blue Star Island students will be greatly increased. For Lin Yi, the advanced talent awakening potion developed in the future can reap a lot of wealth. Yar, call the patriarchs of the 3 clans over. Lin Yi narrowed his eyes slightly. The next step is to create an invincible army. The passage is here. Standing on the top of a towering holy tower, the Bat God sent a message to the Yan clan god on the social channel. Then he turned his head and saw that the opponent's god War Island was rushing towards him. Opening the sea channel of God's domain, the mysterious island owner is likely to observe from behind, and I have already located the sea area where he is located through the divine fire mark. The middle god of the Yan clan continued to reply, I will pay half of the amethyst coin for this god war scroll, and I won't let you waste it in vain. It must be clean and tidy. Face the island owner who can kill 4 gods at the same time. The middle god of the Yan clan obviously didn't want to take the slightest risk of overturning. It is good. Batman looked at the hundreds of thousands of well-built god war legions under his feet. Bloody pupils exuded cruel killing intent. My worst subordinate units are all legendary creatures with A-level talents, the highest level is even the lower level true god. What are you fighting with me? Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.